Hey guys, what's going on? It's Coach Will, and in today's video I wanted to answer a question that I've been getting from a lot of our gym owners that like to run a paid strategy and do a lot of paid marketing and paid advertising as to ways that they can increase their lead quality. So rather than type a big wall of text, I figured it'd just be best to just jump on and do a quick video here covering a few ways you can increase lead quality. Generally, this method or this advice I'm going to give you is for if you're running a paid ad strategy. So if you're spending money on Facebook ads and you've been running a lot of ads and you're noticing that the lead quality is very, very low, first understand that that's very, very common. So when you run Facebook ads, or really ads on almost any platform, anywhere, the ads that are often going to get the most leads at the best cost, like that media and that copy that does that, often is going to also yield the lowest quality, right? Now, with anything that increases lead quality, it's going to throttle lead volume, right? So as you make changes and put some of these things that I'm going to share with you in place, as you install them in your funnel, in your process to increase the lead quality, understand that it's going to probably significantly limit your lead volume. And the reason why we don't often recommend gyms do this right out of the box, or really any small business or any business period really does this out of the box, is because most small businesses are not operationally bottlenecked to where they can't make the effort to qualify the lead after they have the lead, right? It's better to have a lead and use your follow-up and sales process through iteration to further qualify the lead and convert that lead into a sale, versus disqualifying the lead before you even get a chance to talk to them. Because I'll tell you, having sold like thousands and thousands and thousands of people stuff, using ads, through my gyms, through my, various companies, both online and offline, B2C and B2B, that a lot of leads will come to you unqualified. They will come in as leads that are maybe a non-fit. And then through your sales process, through your follow-up, you can turn that lead into a qualified buyer through the process, right? I've sold a lot of things to people that came in as leads that I either didn't think were qualified or were trying to disqualify themselves because they wanted free stuff, right? They came in for free stuff, they wanted free, or they wanted low, or they wanted a certain thing, whatever they thought they were getting, and then we ended up selling them something at full value, full price, and they ended up being a very, very good long-term customer, right? So a lot of times when people ask us about lead quality, it's because they just don't want to work the leads. It's because they don't want to put in the work on the leads. They don't want to do good follow-up. They don't want to practice speed to lead, which is getting back to your leads within the first 30 seconds lead comes in. If you can get back to the lead the second they're still looking at your website and your funnel, that lead quality is, they're looking at your stuff. They're excited about your stuff. They're going to be like, oh, this is great service. They're getting back to me quick. Most business owners will drag their feet, take their time, and not get back to leads quickly. And in that process, they're diminishing the quality of the lead, because the lead, by the end of the day, forgets they even inquired about it, or they've already been sold by somebody else, or they've moved on to something else, right? So just wanted to address that first before I get into these 5 ways to increase lead quality, because before you should worry about increasing lead quality, you should focus on dialing in your sales and follow-up processes. And then once you do have your sales and follow-up processes dialed in, and you feel like maybe operationally you just can't keep up with the flow of leads, then you should work on improving the lead quality before it comes in. Which for most gyms, which is, who follows most of my stuff now, or any other small business for that matter, if you're only getting 50 leads a month, you should not be trying to bottleneck your lead quantity for lead quality. You should instead be improving your follow-up and sales processes to convert as many of those leads as possible after you have them, instead of trying to diminish the number of leads to try to improve lead quality. So that being said, there are gyms and small businesses that applies to, where they do get a lot of leads and they want to improve the lead quality prior to the lead opting in. So I'm going to tell you what those 5 things are, okay? And by the way, you're going to want to test and experiment with these because of the reasons I just shared with you, right? So if you put one of these things in place and you realize your lead quantity goes down so much that you don't have any leads, you're probably going to want to remove that thing so you can get your lead volume back up, okay? So number 1, refining your targeting, okay? So improving, focusing on maybe reaching a higher profile audience by refining your targeting demographics, right? So when you're setting up ads in most platforms, including Facebook or Meta or whatever platform it is, you can choose like the zip codes you target. You can choose the neighborhoods you target. You can choose the radius you target. You can choose to not target certain areas, right? And if you're, say, in a metropolitan area where maybe there's some like low income areas, or you're in some areas where maybe the demographics aren't a buyer for your product, then you're probably going to want to exclude that area and target just the areas that are, ideal for you, right? So the easiest way to do that is through targeting on the map, right? It can also be using like certain buyer personas, if you will, in the targeting, and like targeting based on interest. Again, be very, very careful with this, because you can easily choose to target based on, say you are a gym and you're gonna try to improve your targeting by going by people that are interested in fitness and wellness. We've done that. We've tested this a lot, and we found that the lead quantity dips so much that you almost don't have any leads. You're almost paying so much per lead that's not worth doing. Like, you're hundreds of dollars per lead versus like a few dollars per lead. So you can test these, you could try these, but again, like using the targeting by interest usually isn't recommended. And then number 3, this approach, like I said, it might result in fewer leads overall, but it can increase the quality of the leads generated. Okay. Number 2, kind of went out of order there. Sorry. So number 2, your opt-in process, right? So you can add steps to your opt-in process, right? So as they say they see your ad and then they click on the ad, if you're running Facebook lead ads, for example, you can add questions to the lead ad form. You can ask them a couple questions just to make them slow down, because the faster and easier it is for them to opt in, the more leads you're going to get. But you're also going to get more leads that like went through that thing really fast and then clicked onto the next thing and forgot they even clicked on it. And then that sometimes you get a lead that like, and I've done it where like they fill out the form, they put their name, phone number, and email in there, and then you go to call them, and sure enough, that they're talking to you like, what are you bothering me for? And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, you filled out my thing. Okay, you filled out my form. And then they're like, I don't remember filling that out. And it's like, you're not gonna have an argument with a guy whether or not he filled out the thing. It's like, you obviously have their phone number for a reason. But either way, like adding a couple steps in there, like saying like, hey, what are your weight loss goals? Or how many days a week do you work out now? Asking those questions in the opt-in form before they put their name, phone number, and email in, which you can do, in your lead ad forms on Facebook or on your website, right? So you can do that, and adding more steps is going to inevitably, cut down on people that are moving too fast in the funnel, right? Because that's what leads to those leads. That's what leads to you having prospects that like don't even remember filling out the form. Is for example, Facebook with its lead ad forms, they make it incredibly easy for them to click that form, and it autofills their name, phone number, and email. They click submit, and then they keep scrolling, and they forget that they even clicked on it. Right now, could some of those leads be very, very, very good leads, and they were just moving fast? 100%. Could some of those be a prospect that you call and now they're not responsive, or they're not getting back to you, or they don't remember clicking on it? 100%. That can happen too, right? Again, doing that is going to filter out less committed and unqualified leads, and it's going to improve the overall quality of the leads that you're generating, right? It's going to do that, right? But it will also diminish your quantity, right? Which is going to bring your lead cost up. Number 3 is going to be offer perception, right? So the offer that you make in the ad, if it's something that's like a free giveaway, like hey, we're giving something away, you're going to get a lot of leads from people that don't have money, naturally. But you're also going to get some leads in there that have money, they just want to try it, right? So with that, you're going to have that happen where you get a lead that's like, I thought this was free, right? Like, we run ads where like, it's not a free ad, but we're trying to get a lot of people to opt in. So naturally, offer perception is that like, is this free? They're not sure. They click on the ad, and then you get the lead. Sometimes they're a great buyer, but sometimes they're not, right? So with that, the perception of the offer that you're making, if it alludes to it being cheap or free or inexpensive, sometimes that will bring in leads that are cheap and want free things and don't want to buy expensive things, right? If you were to take that offer and make it an offer that has exclusivity or high value, that will deter less serious prospects. 100%. That'll deter those people that maybe aren't great fits for your program and probably need to go somewhere else, right? Again, with doing that, you might lose the opportunity to convert someone who otherwise can be a very, very good customer that has money. They may just have clicked on the ad because it seemed like a good opportunity to try something without a big commitment, right? So and that might not even be what you're trying to do. It might not even be that you're trying to necessarily give anything away for free. But like, if you have an offer that seems like higher end or exclusive, it's gonna, and if it feels like it's gonna be expensive, even if it doesn't mention price. You know, if you were to put price in an ad, say, hey, this is going to be $1,000, would you consider spending $500 on it? That's by most people's standards expensive, right? And the only people are going to click on that are people that have the money to spend on that, which is going to be very, very few if they don't know who you are and they're just seeing your ad. Versus like if it seems like it's got a lower barrier to entry, you're going to convert more leads, right? Number 4, you could do an application funnel, right? So you can, this is, you know, we do this here at Big Little Gyms when a gym wants to join our program, and you know, we get a lot of gym owners that are broke and don't want to pay for things and don't want to work and don't want to do the work and don't want to put in the effort. And our program is amazing and it works and we back it up and we guarantee it. But the gym owner, you know, can't come on and freeload on the information and just expect it to magically work for them. You know, we're not in a market for most gyms anymore where you can just like build it and they will come. You're going to have to, no matter what program you're in, there's going to be some, you know, deploying of the steps we give you, right? So like we put an application in our funnel. We have an opt-in page, and then we have an application page, and then we have a booking page. And we do that because it qualifies the lead. And if someone fills out that application and books an appointment with us, and we read that application and it says, hey, you know, we actually have a question that literally asks them like, do you want, you know, is investing in your business important to you? And do you have the funds to invest in your business? You know, question number 2, can I get the funds to invest in my business? And question number 3 is, I do not have the funds to invest in my business. If they check question number 3, we just cancel their appointment and tell them like, hey, you know, it's important that you allocate funds to invest in the systems that are going to grow your business, considering that they have enormous ROI if you do them right. If you can't see yourself doing that, then like this is probably not for you because, you know, we put a lot of effort in with the clients we work with. And so we put that in place for us. Now that's because we get a lot of lead volume. If we didn't get a lot of lead volume, I would probably still talk to those people that say they don't have money, because my goal would be to try to get them to get money in the sales process because I know I can help them. Because our lead volume is high enough and we sell enough people per month and per week to meet our demands and what our growth goals are, we have that step in place, and I'm okay with, you know, in the event that that person gets in the funnel, us having to cancel them. If your business does not have that kind of leads and traffic coming in and your schedule is not full, like ours is, then you probably should not put that application step in place. You should probably still talk to the person that says they don't have money and find a way to build value to have them get money, because I have sold a lot of people because we didn't always have that step in place. We put that step in place over the last year or so as our business really hit a threshold where our sales team and, you know, what our growth goals were, and it was just worth it for us to do. But prior to that, I would talk to everybody, and I would often convert people that said they did not have money, because in reality everybody has money. It's just a different conversation, right? About like what we find valuable and what we want to put our money into. And that's a lot of unpacking to do with someone that we, with our business now, don't have the time to do, especially when we know that what we do works and that we back it up anyways. And also our word of mouth and our brand is there to where like people trust us. So like they're going to find a way. But again, we didn't have that qualification step because we didn't have that trust, authority, and branding. And we didn't have a full schedule, so we were willing to do what we had to do to get customers early, right? Okay, number 5, value first approach. This is my favorite one. This is like really, you know, in building our business and what has helped us get the best quality leads. And now this isn't the sexiest route, but this is the long game. This is the most proven route. And if you want to build a business that generates high quality customers for a long period of time, that stay for a long, long time, that trust you and want to do business with you and give you word of mouth, the best way to convert and qualify your leads is to start with the value first approach. So, you know, that is, you know, prioritizing building trust and providing value first before asking for a commitment, right? So like that's producing high quality, high value content that people actually take and want and use and deploy and get results with before they do business with you. We do that all the time with Big Little Gyms. In fact, like this video you're watching right now is an example of a video that like, if you deploy this, it's going to help your business. And if it works, you're going to come back and say, hey, you know, I'm ready to do business with you because I've tried your stuff already and it works. And I'm willing, you know, to roll the dice on spending some cash with you, even though like it's not rolling the dice because we back up everything we do and it works and we have a high success rate. So like it doesn't really, you know, feel like much risk to anybody, especially when they've already used some of my advice, right? the idea there is, obviously offer valuable content, resources, advice that target your audience that they would typically have to pay for, right? So I often try to think about like, what are some things my competitors like to put behind paywalls that to me aren't like my unique mechanism that I can just give to my audience for free. And how can I do that enough times, time over time, step by step over time to keep them engaged and keep them listening and watching, so that by the time they opt in on my funnel, like they know who I am, they trust me, they're ready to spend some money, and they've seen some of our social proof and what other people have to say about us, and they're very, very excited to work with us. And with that, the quality lead is the highest. Like we, if you want to close people at a high rate on very, very high ticket products, nothing will beat that approach, right? And the best way I like to think about it is demonstrating your expertise and offering actionable advice. By doing that, you're going to attract highest quality leads that are genuinely interested in your offerings, resulting in higher quality prospects in the end, right? You'll have more people that, had they not known you, might click that "I don't have money" button in the application. We don't have people ever click that because like they know to work with us because they've seen enough other people get results with their stuff that they know that work with us, they're going to have to invest in their business. They're going to have to take that leap to trusting someone else. And as a result, they're like more excited to talk to me than they are anybody else, right? So that's what I recommend doing, is that value first approach. When we have gyms and businesses that we work with build out really good content and they're consistent about it and it's high value, it's not just like pictures of people working out in their gym, but it's value and advice and like things that other people again would charge for, and building trust and showing personal social proof and putting out testimonials. When we have gyms do that, when they go to run their paid ads, they tend to convert leads at a much higher rate at a much better cost. The cost per acquisition, the cost per lead is much lower, because the way Facebook works and all these different platforms work is if that person's already watching your stuff, they're going to be the first ones to be shown your ads instead of a competitor. And the way that all these platforms work is it's an auction. So like you're basically like entering a automatic bidding process. And if you want to be shown, you're going to pay the current bid rate. Who gets the better bid rates are the people that like the content is more relevant to. So if like someone watches some of your content organically that you're putting out for free, and then you run an ad, your lead cost is going to go down because those platforms are going to show your ads to the people that are already watching the relevant content that you were putting out, right? So like it just makes sense to do that, right? Now that takes time and consistency, and if you haven't done it and you're running ads, then you need to start doing it, and over time you'll see the benefits of that in your ads. Okay, now those are the 5-step process, right? So just to recap: refine your targeting, your audience, your demographics, your radius, your neighborhoods, where where they live. Add steps to your opt-in process. Change the perception of the offer to one of more exclusivity and more scarcity and higher value. Add an application step to your process, or you could go with a value-based approach. You can implement those 5. I do not recommend doing all 5 at the same time. I recommend testing one at a time. If you do all 5 at the same time, you are likely going to completely kill all the lead volume you get. And I mean, given that the one person that gets through that funnel is probably going to buy, but the other 99 people that would have opted in that don't, you'll have no opportunity to do business with them, right? So start wide first and get lead flow. So I'm a big fan of like get lead flow, get put as little friction in place of your funnel as possible and get lead flow. Do the opposite, right? Like have a very loose targeting structure, target everyone in your area from all zip codes and all areas. If there's an area you really just have to avoid, then avoid it. I'm not, have very little friction in your opt-in process. Don't add steps, but take away steps. Make it very easy to click and put your information in. Make offer perception, low barrier to entry, right? Like let it be low barrier to entry and just work those leads, and the ones that disqualify themselves after the fact, boot them out of the process and chase the ones that are good quality leads. Don't add in the application step. That's the inversion, right? And then a value first approach. This you should always be doing. Step 5 is the one that I think you should be doing no matter what, because that one is building an actual brand and trust and authority in your area and getting people watching your stuff, which ultimately reduce lead cost, right? That one there won't actually kill lead volume. That one will increase lead quality and increase lead volume, right? So that's the one you should do no matter what, is the value first approach of building trust, building value, well before asking for any type of commitment or making an offer, right? Give, then ask. Okay. And last I guess notes here, the best time to use these methods is when you have so much lead volume that the lead quality is so low that you are willing to sacrifice a high percentage of the leads for a higher ticket price point, right? So that's really the only time you should do that. Okay. And if the time spent converting those lower quality leads is creating like an operational bottleneck and getting to the better leads, then that's another time to consider doing this, right? Like, you know, and I would say for a lot of gyms, you know, the era of that time, and this can still be the case with gyms now. We have some gyms that are definitely in honey holes now where they just get tons of leads for a super cheap price, and they just don't have enough time to chase all these leads, so they need to add a step. And that, for me, in my gym, which is probably, it was in a market much like most gyms, that era was like probably 5 years ago. You know, if you would have been running, you know, ads on any of the meta platforms, Facebook, Instagram, any of them back in 2017, 2018, you were getting leads for like 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. And if you were spending $30 a day, you were getting dozens and dozens of leads. We would generate 300, 400, 500 leads a month. And so we started adding in some of these steps to basically throttle the lead volume and qualify leads. So the only leads we did get were ones that were qualified. And we still had a lot of work to do with that after the fact. And then as time went on, and this is what happens with every advertising platform, is the costs inevitably go up as more people in the space see the cheap leads. It starts to increase because it's an automatic bidding process. It starts to increase the cost of the lead. And now you're like, okay, I got to start removing some of these steps because I'm not getting too many leads anymore. I'm barely getting enough leads. Instead of getting 300 leads a month, I'm getting 30 now for the same money. So I need to talk to all 30. And I need to get on the phone to all 30. I need to pick up the phone and I need to smile and dial. And I need to start building rapport with these people and getting them in the door and having a discussion and avoiding things like getting in discussions about pricing. And instead of having conversations about value and what they find valuable and what their goals are and what they're trying to improve and all this good stuff, right, guys? So that, guys, is how you increase lead volume and how you improve the quality of your leads. If you have any further questions about that, post that in the comment section below. If you're watching this video on any of the platforms where I share, you know, to my greater audience that's not an existing client, if you found this valuable, like, subscribe, share, ring the notification bell. Doing those things ultimately let me know to keep publishing, you know, lets me know what is working so I can go do more of what is working, because as we produce videos early in the process here and put stuff out there on the internet, you know, I think I know what is working, and but ultimately, and we've had some success with some videos, but then we have a lot that don't, and ultimately how I know what is successful is based on what you guys watch and what you guys like and what you guys tell me you like, and the questions you ask in the follow-up below. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell. If you do want to work with big little gyms and uncork the growth potential of your business, you want to work with someone in a team and a tribe and community of gym owners that are focused on growth, and you want systems to that lead to a specific result, not just random tools and random things that you're putting together, but a systemized process that is very organized and very linear, that is designed to get you a specific end result of growth, then you should go to biglittlegyms.com, BIGLITTLEGYMS. When you go there, it will tell you all about what we do, how we do it, and how you can get started. You can fill out the form. When you fill out that form, it'll take you over to book a discovery call. When you go to book that discovery call, it will ask you to fill out an application to make sure you are qualified to work with us. So go ahead and do that, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.